Bonsoir, Ligne Suite family. We are so excited to officially bring back our Ligne Suite Spotlight. And kicking it off for 2022, we recently featured Haitian American agent Anne-Sophie Petit-Frere following the amazing success of her new hit show, Selling Tampa. Selling Tampa is Netflix's new luxe real estate reality show that follows an all-Black, female-led real estate brokerage in Tampa, Florida. So joining us today for the very first Ligne Suite Spotlight of 2022, we have the beautiful Haitian American agent, Anne-Sophie Petit-Frere. How are you doing today?
I am amazing. No complaints on my end.
After finding out you were on the show, I was like, okay, yes, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to binge watch this, and automatically fell in love with you from the very beginning. So I did some research and I looked into your background, and from what I read, you actually moved from Haiti in 2005. You moved from Haiti to Florida in 2005. So tell us a little bit about what that journey's been.
So in 2005, my parents decided that it was best to move me to the States due to so much turmoil going on in Haiti at the time. And from there, I lived in Orlando. I completed my middle school, high school years in Orlando. And after completing my, not undergraduate, but after completing those years in Orlando, I went on to the University of South Florida, where I completed my bachelor's in accounting. And from accounting to real estate, I came where the money is.
I like that. Came where the money is. So tell us a little bit about Haiti. Like, what part of Haiti did you move from? What part of Haiti your family's from?
Yes. So I grew up in Port-au-Prince. So I lived in Port-au-Prince up to the age of like 11. And at 11 is when I moved to the States. So when we got the call, I was super excited and I had a lot of emotions. And one of the main emotions for me was just excitedness and being able to represent, and not represent just Black women of color, but also to represent Haitians. I grew up in a time where it wasn't cool to be Haitian when I first got here. And suddenly I think it's a cool thing now, but regardless,
always super cool.
Always will be Haitian.
No, it is super cool to be Haitians now. We have all these people now posted flags in their names many times that aren't even Haitian. So what was it like for you having like all of these cameras follow you around every day? So you go from this, you have this professional life, and now all of a sudden you have to share your business life with cameras follow you every day. What was that experience like?
The first day was a little bit nerve-wracking, but honestly, I feel like we literally have cameras in our face on a day-to-day basis with the use of social media. I've always been huge on like just sharing stuff on my social media platform. So after that first day, it was a piece of cake. It just became part of our norm.
So you weren't nervous or anything about sharing your personal life? You didn't think twice? You weren't worried? You were like, let's go.
Well, it does come with some challenges. And although for the most part, you get comfortable and almost to a certain extent, you forget that the cameras are there. However, it then becomes a little uncomfortable when you have to have certain conversations that you would previously have privately. Now you have to have them on camera.
Okay. I can see that. Now, see, I'm a big reality show fan, and I've also had the opportunity to work on some of these other reality shows. And many times some of the stuff are scripted, are put together, for the show. So how much of what you guys taped was it all real life? Did you guys have to meet up and script certain things? Or was it all just the camera following you guys around and you were still working and everything? Or did they have a taping schedule? How did that work?
Listen, I will say that our show is 100% authentic. What you see on there is 100% all of the different ladies' personalities. What you see on there is authentically me. And if you ask any of my friends, that's exactly who I am, a firecracker.
I love it. So what have been your thoughts though on the mixed reviews on the show? Because there's been a lot of people that absolutely love it. I've seen other critics and people saying, oh, you guys didn't sell enough, or it's too much drama, or, what has been your thoughts on the mixed reviews? Because I also saw you going back and forth with DJ Envy on the Breakfast Club when he made his statement about the show.
Overall, my thoughts are not everything is for everyone, and I am completely okay with that. And I am thankful for the opportunity. I'm thankful for everyone that has been watching us. And I just want to send a reminder, this is only like that was only the beginning of our journey. The show tells a story about a minority owned brokerage breaking through the luxury world. And that's the story that it tells. And if people are interested in anything else, then they'll have to stay tuned to see if there's anything more to come.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because the brokerage is actually a real brokerage. This wasn't something that put together a bunch of women put together, you know, to sell this story. So tell us a little bit about what the brokerage is, the women that you work with, how you even started working there. And you're so young too to be working, you know, at a brokerage like that. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so the brokerage is 100% real. It was founded just a couple years ago. Sherelle and I actually met at a Realtor event and we just hit it off. And at the time, she was still a real estate agent and we just kept in contact. So eventually she got her broker's license. She started her brokerage. She set up a meeting for us and she talked to me about what her goals were, what her vision was for the brokerage and for the Tampa area. And I bought into it. And that's how I ended up at Allure Realty.
What so far has been your feelings about the comparisons between selling Sunset and selling Tampa?
I think it's important for people to remember that although we are in the same franchise, we're two different shows. And I think it should be treated as such. I love the ladies of Selling Sunset and I love watching Selling Sunset myself. And I just think that we have two different stories.
My next question is, I got to take it back on the Haitian side. What has been your Haitian family's response? A Haitian woman on TV, cameras following you. What was that conversation like, telling your parents you were going to be on TV in a reality show at that?
I'm not gonna lie, it was very interesting telling my parents that I was gonna be on a show. And I kind of waited towards the later end till it was more so like confirmed and done, and then waited to tell them. But honestly, they took it better than I anticipated. They are really supportive. Listen, they're sending it to everyone on WhatsApp. Like the support was there a lot more than I anticipated.
Once it goes to WhatsApp, you've made it. They're not sending it to WhatsApp unless they're proud. So you made it.
The news has been circulating through WhatsApp, so it's a done deal.
When we posted you right away, it was an overwhelming overpouring of love, like from Twitter to Facebook. People were excited. Everyone that had already seen the show was like, you were their number one on there. And the people that hadn't seen the show were like, oh my God, there's a Haitian sister in there. I'm definitely going to watch. And I know you were in the comment section to see some of that.
The love has just been overwhelming. I did not expect to get like that kind of love and support. And I am grateful for it all. And I feel blessed and I feel a huge responsibility to represent women and Haitian women well on this platform. So I'm excited for whatever else is to come.
What are you the most excited about in being able to have this kind of platform, such a large platform, a larger platform?
I am most excited about showing young women, Haitian women, that literally the world is at your fingertips. You deserve anything that you can set your mind to, and that like we're meant to live in luxury. It's like the days of us just being willing to take the bare minimum is just over. We deserve all the luxuries that our hearts desire. And you can live in luxury and still like have wealth. I don't subscribe to you can only have one or the other. That like if you have like if in order to have wealth, you have to live like below a certain standard of living. I'm excited to show women all over the world. I'm excited to show young women that they can do anything that they want. And as long as they believe strongly in it, and that, you know, it's okay to live a life of luxury. It's okay to treat yourself. It's okay. We belong in luxury.
Absolutely. What was your biggest surprise watching a reality show and now being on a reality show? What's the biggest difference?
The biggest The biggest surprise to me is I did not anticipate, how much hard work goes into it, like the long hours. And I give hand claps to everyone in the reality world. It's a lot to mentally prepare yourself to handle all the positive and the negative feedback that's going to come your way. So I give props to everyone that's doing it and that's doing it well and just handling it with class and grace.
So with that being said, how were you able to, because you still had to work when they were filming, how was it like working and still having to be part of this show and the taping the long hours? Were you actually selling then? Were you making any income then? Or it was all about the show until the show was over?
I was very much so selling while filming the show. So what's important as business owners is to set up systems and processes. And before the show even happened, I'm obsessed with systems and processes. I had established them in my business in order for it to be able to run, even with when I'm not physically present. I have like a team of support, of transaction coordinators that I can reach out to make sure things kept on flowing even when I could not be present.
What do you say makes a good realtor?
What makes a good realtor? A good realtor is a person that is knowledgeable about the market and educate. I'm sorry. Let me redo that.
You're good.
A good realtor is a person that is knowledgeable of the market, that is an educator, educating their clients about what's going on, what the process is like, and also someone that has their systems and processes in place to make sure that they service all of their clients to the best of their ability.
I had no idea that they had such beautiful homes in Tampa. That was my biggest shock. Like, I had no idea Tampa was even that beautiful. It didn't even look like you were watching Tampa. So that was surprising to me to find that out. So my thing is like, what has been the market been like right now? The Tampa market has been right now.
Tampa market has definitely been a diamond in the rough. Like a secret gem that a lot of people were not previously onto before the show. A lot of people had no idea what kind of treasures Tampa had. And with the show happening, with Tom Brady joining the Bucks, and with like all the championships that Tampa keeps winning, all the spotlight has been on Tampa. And with that being said, it's created a super duper hot market for us. There's bidding wars going on everywhere. So if you are a buyer and you plan on buying in this market, it's important that you pair yourself up with a savvy agent and that you submit competitive offers.
And last, what would be your advice to anyone right now thinking about home buying, especially right now with what's going on with the market? Because we hear so many different things every single day. Buy, not buy, good time, not good. What would be your advice?
But my advice to anyone that's looking to buy right now is you need to make sure you are well prepared and you're prepared mentally for the types of market that we're in. You have to be ready to submit a strong offer, and you have to think about what is comfortable for you and your family, because you can wait, but the best time to buy a home is yesterday. Because had you bought a house maybe last year, right now you'd be sitting in equity. You would have experienced all this appreciation from like this market, right? And the trend with real estate is that homes appreciate over time. Yes, every now and then, you might have a little, a down market, right? But overall, the trend with real estate is upwards. Homes typically appreciate. And the name of the game is you don't sell when the home isn't, you don't sell when we're in a down market. If that's a possibility for you, I guess I should say.
Thank you for being here. I just learned a lot for myself because I'm in that space right now too. So thank you for the education. And before we go, let everyone know how to find you, where to follow you, I love your IG, by the way. That's my favorite place to follow you. But let everyone else know how to keep up with you in between now and the next season of Selling Tampa.
Yes, you can find me between Instagram, Twitter, but mostly Instagram, and LinkedIn and Facebook. And usually you can use my first name, Anne-Sophie PF, which is for Petit Frere. But yeah, I hang out mostly on Instagram and LinkedIn, but occasionally I'm playing on Twitter as well.
Thank you so much.